What's the point? I'm just asking that for you, since if you're watching my channel, you're obviously unfathomably bored and probably in a dark place. But when there is darkness, there is fast food to, well, maybe not make the world as shiny as a brand new dime, but it can shake off some of the rust and improve things a tad. And with that being said, I will break into the topic of today's video, which is some of the new things being offered at Burger King. This particular Burger King is one I haven't been to before. No particular reason why, I've just never pulled in. Everybody in there, at least the workers, had shirts that said youth on them in capital letters. I don't know what that's about. Makes me a little leery as to how things may turn out. But if the food doesn't end up being good, it's alright, because there's a Chinese restaurant across the parking lot where I can get some pepper steak fixed in a little bit different way. Lately, Burger King's been changing their menu more often than a convalescent home worker changes Depends. I hear they're in some financial difficulties, so I don't know if they're just trying to just come up with something new that works out for them, or find some way to grab the public's attention. But, well, they have my attention anyway, because I'm here and I'm doing this. So the first thing is this Pretzel Bacon King, which of course I ordered with no cheese. They also have tacos now. Got this one with no cheese as well. We'll get to that in a moment. Got the cookies because, again, they tried to do the upsell. I didn't really have the heart to tell them no. And then just one of the old standbys, some onion rings in case things go wrong. At least I know these will be good. My hopes for the Pretzel King are fairly high. I've never had anything on a pretzel roll that I didn't like. It kind of brings things up to a new level. Sort of like back in the classic gaming era, during the bit wars. Add more bits, everybody would want the new system, and a lot of pretzel roll, everybody's gonna want the new burger. So let's see what this is all about. Well, it's a little lopsided, but at least I left the cheese off, so we're starting in a good place. So there's bacon on top of it. It was called the Pretzel Bacon King, so I guess that's to be expected. Mustard, mayonnaise, and possibly onions, I'm not sure. Reminds me a little bit of the pretzel bacon burger that they had at Wendy's for a while there. Summer of 2013. They also had the pulled pork fries on the magical summer. Well, let's see how this goes. It's a bit cold to the touch. Hopefully it hasn't been left out too long. Well, it delivers fairly well. It's a pretzel roll. Pretzel roll adds the expected quality that one would hope for. It's a good, solid pretzel roll. It's not one of those cheap ones that they probably, well, I assume they do buy in bulk anyway, but it's not one of the cheap, inferior pretzel rolls. It's a fairly good one. The mustard and mayonnaise work quite well together. I still don't really know if there are onions in there or not. There could be. So before we finish that, try out the tacos. Or taco singular, I only have one. This looks to be highly similar to the ones at Jack in the Box. They said Jack in the Box would have expanded nationwide by 2019, but they haven't. They're not here. But I went to one in Seattle not too long ago, and they had tacos that looked a lot like this. Shell's very similar. Pretty much exactly the same as a Jack in the Box taco. Not a bad thing. I'd give it an A-. Lettuce is crisp enough. It's iceberg instead of that romaine nonsense. Meat's a little pasty, but well, I'm not at a high-level place like Taco Bell, so that's to be expected. The sauce, it kind of reminds me of that taco sauce you get in the Ortega or Old El Paso taco kits. All in all, not too bad. One of the few good things about the heat wave that we're having right now, it's last official day of summer, but it certainly feels like we're still in the middle of it. It's 90 degrees, but it keeps the cookies in a more fresh baked kind of state. So if you have family coming in from up north and you don't have time to make 10 dozen of these,
chocolate chips my favorite.
Mine too.
When I make them for Christmas, I make about 10 dozen of them.
Whoa. Why so many?
Because we usually have family in from the up north.
if that's your Christmas tradition like the Morrisons. Well, I explained that one to death, didn't I? Just go to Burger King and buy 10 dozen of these. It's a good cookie, quite satisfying. Like I said, being left out in the hot sun kind of helps it maintain its youth. Kind of keeps that fresh baked taste there. You know, they're forever young. Got our onion rings here. It's kind of odd that most of them are really pale. Then there's this one that's really well done. And it doesn't have the central hole. Kind of reminds me of the short-lived onion McNuggets at McDonald's. It's also pretty hard. I don't think I'll be eating that one. Well, I guess I will not need to be going to the Chinese restaurant after all. I will rather gladly accept the results of what happened here today and finish this lunch and then return to my house, whereupon I will upload the video. Farewell.